My boyfriend told me I was prettier before. So I met my boyfriend when I was blonde. No, I'm not naturally blonde, but I bleached it and had it for over a year. I had to cut what once was long brunette hair because it became too damaged after I started bleaching it. My blonde hair was too much to handle as I started experiencing hair loss, and I had to go back to my natural color in order to let it heal. That's when I decided to never dye my hair again. However, I was met with comments such as, "Bleach it again, it looked better before," and I've never felt worse about myself. The one that really got to me was, "Can I tell you something honestly? You looked better before. Everyone liked you more when you were blonde. Get over it and bleach it again." The person who said it was my boyfriend. I was stunned and I didn't know what to say or DP. I was really insecure about my looks just a few years ago, and this had me thinking, does hair color really determine how pretty I am? What should I do? I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel like I have to do something in order to please him or others. I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel insecure. Update. He said that he was just joking, still seems like a red flag to me. Edit. I just want to clarify, I see nothing wrong with preferences. Obviously everyone has preferences and it's a normal thing. What bothers me is the way he said it, even though it could have been prevented with a simple, "I think it looked better blonde but you're pretty nonetheless," but instead what I got was, and I quote, straight from his message, "Can I tell you something honestly? As a response to an old pic of me where I had blonde hair, you looked better before. Everyone I know liked you more when you were blonde, get over it. Bleach it and go back to blonde, please." I don't think it's an opinion or preference. It would have been if he said it nicely and I would have no issues with it. Edit 2. I dyed my hair brown a month before we started dating. It's not like I dyed my hair during our relationship. We were friends for over a year before that. Say, that's so interesting that you thought I was prettier as a blonde. I've been getting way more attention from guys as a brunette. He will shut the hell up real quick. Then dump him. You answered your own question at the end. Just joking, is the coward's excuse. He pushed until he saw you were offended, then took a tiny step back. Don't have sex with this guy. He makes you feel insecure and insults your appearance. Ditch. Sounds like you also need to lose a couple £100 and dump him. Everyone is allowed to have preferences. But if he is this hurtful and nasty about your friggin' hair color, is it even worth it? You don't deserve to be with someone that rude, especially when it's over something causing you real damage. Let him go and find someone who fulfills his fantasy while you go find someone who doesn't ruin your self-image all because you like having hair that doesn't fall out. He probably has it in his head that having a blonde girlfriend means something symbolic about himself, like it's an accomplishment. While looks play a part in attraction and romantic chemistry, your hairstyle shouldn't be a deal breaker for a serious relationship. Especially one that is so high maintenance. I bet if you walk him through some quotes from salons he would be shook. Oh bae. I was hoping you'd say something. I love that you are willing to pay for the upkeep. What a sweet surprise. It's $500 every 3 months. Should we call and get your card on file, or would you rather buy gift cards for the points? Tell him he would good if he looked like Chris Helmsworth. He said that he was just joking. He wasn't joking. He can have preferences about your hair color. He can tell you his preference. But everyone liked you more when you were blonde, get over it and bleach it again, is your huge warning sign about who he really is. I get that you have some really low self-esteem and that causes you to think you can't do better than him, but you can. I promise. Your last few comments indicate a lot, and might provide your answer. Why would you want to be with someone who makes you feel insecure, when so many people out there won't? If you do decide to stick with him, have it all out, let him know how that makes you feel. Do not bleach it. Only bleach your hair when you really want to, not because people say you look better with it. Don't base your self-worth on flattery or compliments. It's just hair. Every time your boyfriend nitpicks at your appearance, consider it small red flags. Him commenting on your hair like that was kind of immature and really says a lot about their controlling nature. He's an idiot and is trying to control you. It might not seem like it, but this has not much to do about your hair and everything to do with control. Blonde takes such a huge toll on your hair as a natural brunette. I've been there and it took like 2 years to get my hair back to normal. Hair loss was insane, not worth it. Tell him he was prettier before he made that comment. I was always blonde turning slightly brown even when I met my now boyfriend back in 2010 or 2011. I went ombre last year as first time dyeing my hair in my life and we met again. We talked about dyeing because I am thinking about blue or purple. He said he knows my favorite color is blue so he is more towards that, everyone else against it because it fades in ugly green. I got my hair ginger on my B-day washout dye and he said it was unusual to see for the first few hours but he loves me no matter what and I look great. Time to start shopping if you ask me. They say blondes have more fun but brunettes you never forget. So many people especially at a young age would tell me I shouldn't cut my hair short because, your hair is the nicest thing about you and you don't realize how lucky you are to have such thick long hair. Mostly family made those comments, but even now as an adult I legit get anxiety at a hair salon. Do what makes you happy, hair is just hair. If you want to be a brunette, own it girl. He's joking, because he doesn't care enough to admit he was wrong to say that, or acknowledge that he hurt your feelings. He said something rude and disrespectful, then he denies that he hurt you. That's why you should break up. He's a tool and he doesn't deserve your looks or your feelings. Sounds like an asshole. Why is it when someone insults you they try and say haha I was joking? Do I look like I'm laughing? No, so it's not a joke, you're just a piece of shit. Honestly the line, "it's just a joke," is just another line people have overused to the point where they say it, to get out of trouble. Sorry, slight rant. What should I do? I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel like I have to do something in order to please him or others. I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel insecure. You just wrote yourself what you need to do. Do it. He insulted you and was definitely not joking. He said he was joking to save his ass. Dump him. So he tried to manipulate you into bleaching your hair as he wants it. Everyone liked you better blonde. And then when you weren't agreeing, he pulled the Schrodinger's asshat and pretended he was just joking. Sure bro. I think you are drawing the right consequences in your last paragraph. He said that he was just joking. This is the equivalent of saying, it's just a prank bra. A joke is supposed to make people laugh and feel good, not be one-sided and cover up for being insultingly rude. Anyone who says this shit to you, this should be a red flag. Not for the lack of tact, but also for how dumb they think you are to fall for that being an excuse to be rude. I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel like I have to do something in order to please him or others. I don't want to be with someone who makes me feel insecure. The answer is, then don't. Dump him. Update. He said that he was just joking, still seems like a red flag to me. Also, his inability to apologize and realize how wrong he was is also a red flag. It's just a joke, is just another way to put the blame on you. It's basically saying, it's your fault you got upset. Obviously I was joking, and your feelings about the matter are unreasonable. Dump him. It seems like an asshole to me, not just a red flag. One way I always gauged my relationships to see if they were toxic was to think about the future. Can I see myself married to this person? What would happen if we wanted to have kids and my body changed? What would I do if this person said or did something similar to my kids? The last one was the one to always make me see the toxic behaviors. Would I let someone I loved be treated like that? Tell him that he looked better to you before when he wasn't a judgmental asshole who preferred your looks over who you are as a person. Then dump his ass. He's too immature for you. Dump his ass and get on with your bad self. There's no room for that negative energy in your space. He was being a dick. You can have a personal preference without insulting someone about it. Example: my boyfriend has started growing out his hair. He used to keep it super short like almost a buzz cut. He's asked me how I like his new hair and I told him I like his long hair better than the buzz cut. I told him he looks adorable in any hairstyle. I just love seeing the new hairstyles he can do with longer hair now. Everyone looks better with their natural hair color. I personally think brunette hair and brown eyes are sexier, but I have brunette hair and brown eyes, so I might be biased. What happens when you have kids and your body changes? What happens when you age and your body changes? Will this man accept that your appearance will change and love you throughout your lifetime, or is this a red flag that he will leave you heartbroken at a much more vulnerable time in your life? Knowing what you know now about his opinions of your appearance and his kindness in approaching it. You are betting here and I don't like the odds. Ah yes, Schroeder's douchebag. He's being honest, unless it upsets you, in which case he's just kidding. He obviously knows you're insecure about it, and anyone who plays on things that they know you're insecure about is an ass. Your boyfriend is a dick. Sure, He can have an opinion but he doesn't have to express it in a hurtful, demeaning way. That he would do so is a concerning sign of disregard for your feelings. Something to seriously think about. Everyone is entitled to have a say and preference. But it's not cool how he phrased it, especially since you didn't even ask his opinion. You should find someone who likes brunettes and isn't a tool. Blonde is overrated. Brunette is where it's at. What an asshat of a man he is to say such a thing, even if he was just joking. He needs to understand how saying those things to you are not in any way okay because it causes you to feel insecure about yourself. Your significant other should be the one to hype you up and make you feel like $1,000,000 even if you feel like $150 that day. Sit him down and talk to him about how you have decided to let your natural hair grow out in order to keep it healthy and thriving. What do you think? Do you like being a brunette or a blonde? Your looks should only matter to you, no one else. Your body, your choice, yes, even your hair counts. No one can tell you what to do with yourself. Whether you want to do a certain thing is only up to you. Never apologize for something that makes you happy. So my ex-wife would change her hair color from blonde, brunette, to red throughout the year in random order. So one day she asks me which is my favorite. She was brunette at the time but she was naturally blonde. I immediately felt like it was a trap question, but I told her that I preferred the blonde because that's what she had when we started dating, then red, then brunette. I was okay with all the colors but they was my order of choice. We are attracted to what we see at first and like most people, don't like change. So he has every right to like your blonde hair, but at the same time you have the right to choose what you do with your hair. You have to find either a middle ground point or figure out the next step of this process or relationship. I do know how much of a red flag it is because we want to reserve red flags for serious personality problems, but he totally wasn't thinking and probably doesn't have high-functioning empathy. He could have said so many things to get the point across that would have actually been flattering and positive. I really can't believe the amount of people in this sub who haven't broken up with their boyfriends yet for having their appearance insulted. I wouldn't like it even as a joke. Friends joke about it. Not the person you're supposed to be romantically involved with and who's supposed to be attracted to you. Now whether people think something looks good or not, is their opinion. But think about why they decide to share it with you and assert their opinion on what you do with your body. If he likes blondes, he should date one. I'm sure you would prefer to have hair, period, than damage it with bleach. I was blonde for quite some time and my hair was okay. But going back to brown saved it and gave it so much more life and length. And if he was joking, he wasn't. It's not a joke, there was no punchline. He sounds like a liar, and he shouldn't be trying to pressure you to change your hair if you don't want to. He doesn't seem worth staying with if he's being unreasonable. You should not pay attention to him and do what feels good for you. You might want to try changing your makeup to complement your natural hair or different hairstyles whenever you feel like changing, but never change to please someone else. Lol, I had the opposite experience. As nice as the blonde looked, my dark hair got way more attention for me and my boyfriend voiced his preference for it as well. That being said, I'm sorry that he made you feel that way. You're surrounding yourself with the wrong people if they feel like they have the right to even comment on your looks without their requested input. Also, your boyfriend isn't joking. Your options are to come to terms with his preference or leave and find someone who appreciates your natural features. I'm sorry people suck. Yeah, that wasn't a joke, and is a definite red flag. Have a serious talk with him. Tell him why you don't want to do it and how it doesn't matter what him or others think, it's for you to decide what to do with it. If he doesn't like it and won't accept it, then leave him. You don't need this negative person around and you don't need to change how you look to suit someone else's tastes, especially not on their terms. He sounds extremely controlling with the demand of, get over it and bleach it again. That's just not how you talk to your partner. He said he was joking, but that's just how guys get out of being held responsible for the things that they say. Call him out. It wasn't a joke, BF, you just don't want me to be angry with you for being an ass to me about my physical appearance. He's very much gaslighting you and you are better than that. I normally don't say, break up. But if he's not willing to treat you with the love and respect you deserve, I say it's time to end it. Everyone I know liked you more when you were blonde. Get over it and bleach it again. Like, did your entire personality change with your hair color? The comment doesn't make sense unless everyone's favorite thing about you as a person what your hair color. Also, he just trying to deflect his opinion to everyone, as a way to make himself not be the bad guy. But he's a douche. If his attraction to you is so fragile, then he doesn't really like you that much, or he's completely shallow. I'm betting on the last one. Not even just mentioning that he preferred it blonde, but saying it such a demeaning way by telling you, to get over it, is awful. You don't want to be with someone like that. What should I do? Leave. Leave now. Leave quickly. Leave completely. For bonus points, don't look back. You deserve better, in every way. He cares more about a subjective aesthetic choice than your health, comfort or well-being. This is not someone to spend another hour with, let alone a lifetime. Did you mention to him when you first started dating that you're naturally a brunette? Why do the women in this sub insist on staying in toxic relationships? Leave him.